Like a Boss was directed by Miguel Arteta, the filmmaker behind Youth in Revolt, The Good Girl, Beatrice at Dinner, and Alexander in the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. And this film stars Byrne and Tiffany Haddish as lifelong best friends who run a makeup company together. And they're starting to experience some success, so a big company run by Salma Hayek swoops in and offers to buy them. And this strains their friendship because this woman is very evil and she's pulling the strings behind the scenes to manipulate them so that she can hopefully take over their company. I want to make one thing really clear. I'll watch any movie. It doesn't matter who it's aimed at. It doesn't matter what the type of film is, the story, the genre, who's in it. It doesn't matter. I will watch any movie. And in the case of this movie, it's obviously aimed at women, and its message is designed to empower women and make them feel good about themselves and not listen to the world's message that seems to suggest that you have to cover up your flaws and that you should embrace your inner beauty and accept who you are and not feel the need to cover up what the world is telling you you need to cover up so that you can be accepted. That's a great message. Very good message for people to hear. Unfortunately, the movie's fucking terrible.
Oh my God!
Is this chocolate sprinkles your pubes?
This is so beautiful.
You talking about this frosted replica of your vagina?
The film is so lost in this idea that it has to have a message, but also have scenes where Tiffany Haddish eats a ghost pepper and spits milk up on people because she doesn't realize how spicy it's going to be, and then she has to poop really bad. This film is so exaggerated. Every scene is so absurd and to this heightened level of insanity that I had a hard time taking it seriously. It didn't feel like people were involved in scenarios in which I cared about them. It just felt like Saturday Night Live skits stretched to near feature length. Because this film is like 83 minutes long, and that's with credits, meaning that it might not actually break the 70-minute barrier. But the real problem I have with this movie is how cartoonish its villains are. Salma Hayek, who is obviously having a lot of fun in this role and really relishing her time on screen, is just a pure fabrication of a person. Like, there might be an asshole business owner, and trust me, I've met many of them. But it's like, hey, we'll just take that and put like a really movie version of that, because if we get too real, then that just won't make audiences happy. And this movie is trying to be that film that you can go with your friends and see and be happy. But it's not an authentic feeling. Nothing that's happening on the screen feels real. It all feels so manufactured by a committee and perfectly shat out by a conveyor belt that I can't believe a second of it. Tiffany Haddish and Byrne are both super fucking talented. Tiffany Haddish is fucking hilarious. I've seen her really funny and stuff. She was great in Girls Trip. Byrne has a ton of range. She's really funny in movies like Instant Family or the Neighbors movies, and then she's also really great in horror like the Insidious films. And they both work well together in this movie, and it feels like they're friends. The problem is that the movie just doesn't give a shit about character or story, and it just wants to make you laugh with these really unfunny scenes that are just filled with so much dead air, it's embarrassing. Like, for instance, early on in the film when they're at their first interview with Salma Hayek, hoping that she'll buy their company, there's drones flying around this place. And one of them gets like really close to Tiffany Haddish, and so she like bats it away and breaks it. And now they're terrified they broke a drone, so they stuff it in their purse. And throughout the whole meeting, it's like moving around in the purse. That's this movie's idea of hilarious comedy. But the villains in the movie are so horrendously cartoonish. I've already mentioned Salma Hayek's character, but there's other villains in the movie. There's a competing makeup company, and it's these two douchebags. And their entire idea is that like a woman needs to cover up her flaws to make her beautiful. And it's just fucking horrific. And it's so stupid. And I'll tell you why. Everyone in the movie is just like so taken with these asshats. Like, they're standing up in front of a crowd of like 100, 200 women, and they're competing with our two leads to see who can give a woman the best look. And they have this whole speech where they're like, we've covered up all of her flaws and imperfections, and doesn't she just look wonderful? And they turn her around and she looks like a fucking mannequin. And all the women are like, yay, you did it! Wow, you are horrible misogynistic assholes, and we're clapping for you! If those dudes did that, they would be booed off the stage. But of course, this movie wants them to be villains, and so the crowd has to embrace them, so it's harder for our heroes to win. And it's just fucking stupid. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I have a fucking brain. There were 2 other women in this theater, and they left halfway through. So, I don't know. This movie is trying to be a lot of different things, and I think it fails at just about every single one of them. I'm going to give Like a Boss a D. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more reviews very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.